Folks, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris just went toe-to-toe on the biggest political stage in the world. Let me tell you, the real battle is actually just beginning. Daily Wire is right on the front line. So now would be an amazing time to join us in the fight. For a very limited time, get 47% off new annual memberships. Why 47? Well, that's because that's what the fight is about. The 47th presidency of the United States. Use code FIGHT at dailywire.com/subscribe. That's dailywire.com/subscribe. Code FIGHT. Get 47% off new Daily Wire Plus annual memberships. So here's my take on this particular debate. We're going to talk about it a lot today. We'll talk about it a lot tomorrow. And a week from now, it's not going to matter at all. And the reason it's not going to matter at all is because nothing fundamentally changed here. The people of America still don't know Kamala Harris. Donald Trump has not done his job in making sure that the people of America actually know anything about her positions. 30% of Americans say they don't know anything about her positions, and they still don't know anything about her positions because the moderators never pressed her on any of her positions. And Donald Trump didn't either. On Donald Trump's side of the aisle, Donald Trump did not perform tonight. He didn't do an amazing job calling her on her BS. The best thing he said all night was his closing statement, which is what he should have opened with. He closed with, "Why didn't you do it?" That should have been the very first thing he said in the debate. And the fact that that wasn't what he said right off the top was a mistake. He was also incredibly distractible tonight. He took the bait on nearly every question. Every time she said something that you knew was going to get his goat, he just let it happen. So, for example, when she gave him the bait on his crowd sizes, on people are leaving your crowds, they're leaving your rallies, he couldn't resist going after her about the crowd size. What about January 6th? About the election of 2020? These are all distractions. The only thing that mattered tonight for Donald Trump was defining her, and he did not define her, which means that I still check the calendar. We still have a couple months till the election. She is going to have to be defined. The big takeaway from this is not going to be about Trump, who still remains Trump. And it's really not going to be about Harris, who performed the best I think it's possible for Kamala Harris to perform, which is to say she was fairly obnoxious. She lied a lot. She said a lot of things that were untrue. She was never called on any of that. The big takeaway is going to be the continued destruction of the legacy media on behalf of the Democratic Party. The legacy media have decided full scale. They are now apparatchiks of the Democratic Party. They are so far up Kamala Harris's ass that they're doing active colonoscopies with their eyeballs. It's unbelievable watching David Muir ask questions to Donald Trump like, "Why are you so bad and orange and mean?" And then turning to Kamala Harris and saying, "And why is he so bad and orange and mean?" It's absolutely insipid and totally insane. The media tonight were beyond the worst expectations that I had for them. I thought that they were going to do like a baseline creditable job because CNN did. Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, they actually did that in the last debate. They actually asked questions and let people answer them. David Muir became an active participant in this debate. Lindsey Davis became an active participant in the debate. And then they never once fact-checked Kamala Harris, who lied over and over and over. She lied. She said, for example, that Donald Trump was a backer of Project 2025. A lie. She said that Donald Trump said there were very fine people on both sides of the Charlottesville riots, including the neo-Nazis. That is a lie. It's been debunked repeatedly. They did not say that that was a lie. She said that he had said that he was going to unleash a bloodbath on the country if he lost. That's a full-scale lie. They never fact-checked a single thing that she did the entire night. And actually, that helps Trump. And it helps Trump for a very simple reason. If you are a Trump fan, and if you think that Trump didn't actually perform unbelievably well tonight, which I think is true, I don't think he did an amazing job tonight, the easy out is, yeah, because the media were targeting him. And if you're a moderate watching this, I think that it had to be apparent, even to moderates, even to independents, the media want Kamala Harris elected. They're doing their best to make sure that Kamala Harris is elected. So tomorrow, we'll revert right back to where we were before this debate. We'll revert right back to Kamala Harris is vibes, and she is joy, and she is policy vagary, and she'll never answer another question. She's going to try and get all the way from here to the election without ever answering another question. There will be no more debates. She's going to declare that she won. The media will declare that she won and that Trump lost. Trump really has no interest in doing another debate because I frankly don't think that it's in his interest to do another debate at this point. So that was the last presidential debate of this election cycle. The bottom line is that when all is said and done, it seems like a lot of this is baked into the cake. And in the moment, it's uncomfortable because it was such an opportunity. You know, if you're like me and you're sitting there, you're like leaping out of your seat. Why won't he just say it? Why won't he just say it? It's very frustrating. She will say something about how race shouldn't divide us. And you're sitting there going, what the actual living, like you are a case in point of a person who divides based on race. It's what you do for a living. It's how you became vice president of the United States. She will say things about Afghanistan. They'll ask her about whether she has any regrets. And she'll say no. And instead of him coming back and saying, don't you regret the 13 dead American soldiers whose families you ignored? You're just waiting for him to take the opening. But the problem was that he had been set off earlier in the debate. He was incredibly distractible. He was following every squirrel down every particular rabbit hole. Again, the best moment I thought of the debate for Donald Trump was that closing statement where he finally laid out the big question. If you say you have all these big plans, why don't you do any of those things? But in the final analysis, I can be pissed at the media. I can feel discomfort with how the debate went tonight. This is still a tight race. It's not going to become a not tight race because of this particular debate, which means that tomorrow Donald Trump better get up and he better decide that he's going to do for the rest of the campaign the thing he didn't do tonight, define her positions. It can't just let, J.D. Vance, by the way, is doing an excellent job of this. J.D.'s doing a great job of this. Trump needs to do it. He needs to actually do it. If he does that, he can still win the race and he still has the upper hand. But this debate was I'll say it was a blown opportunity at the very least.